On Friday, Harris Hoosier Park presents the $300,000 Dan Patch as race number 13 on a 15 race program that starts at 5:30 in the evening, which will probably last till about 11 something, Matt. And we're going to sit here and we're going to cover the Dan Patch. But first, we want to let you know that you can watch all the races live on DRF. Just check out the QR code on your screen. There's also a link to free PPs on the Harris Hoosier Park homepage. But we're going to dig right into the Dan Patch. There's 11 horses in this edition. Typically, there's 10, but the track's allowed to invite a horse if they want, and they invite us Sabonis, Matt.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. A different twist now with two trailers. As we know, they go 9 across at Hoosier. So, yeah, I mean, it should be much more contentious early on as horses and drivers try to jockey for position and maybe not get left out and not go to overland trip. But yeah, this Dan Patch Stakes always comes up a fun race year in and year out, and I pretty much expect the same this year.
Well, we're going to dig deep into all the horses in here, but first, I just want to mention that this is the second leg of a $30,000 guaranteed pick four that starts in race number 12, and there's a couple other guarantees on the card. I think starting in race one with the pick five, I think is 10,000, and also the
Mm-hmm.
pick four in race six, also $10,000 guarantee, and usually the high five has a $10,000 guarantee as well. Why don't we take a look at some of the contenders? And the morning line favorite is the red hot Little Rocket Man. We're going to take a look at his victory last time on July the 25th. And Matt, no troubles for him in this race, Matt.
It kind of looks like a replay from his prior three starts, the prior 3 weeks in the open level at Hoosier Park, where basically he makes his way to the front, and the rest of the field is overmatched. This guy is just unreal. I mean, it's just an unreal form. What a warrior at age, what is he? I believe now age 9. Um, his only stakes engagement this year, I guess, was in the Battle of Lake Erie Northfield, where he is stuck in post 8, so you can certainly forgive him. That was his quest to repeat in the battle, but wasn't meant to be with the post. But listen, this guy, I mean, just when you think, he's going to start slowing down, it's kind of gives you like shades of Foiled again, racing forever and staying at a high level. South of Amazon, who we just recently saw retire, 14 years old. Could this guy end up being better than both of them? It's possible. And in terms of morning line favoritism, I think he deserves it from this spot, considering his form as kind of the hometown favorite, so to speak.
Yeah, his lifetime mark came over this track 147-2. He's won 76 of 129 races, which is just mind blowing. But we're going to move on to the second choice, which is Desperate Man. And last time, Desperate Man was seen at the Joe Garrity. And we're going to take a look at that replay here. He was on the lead, Matt, 123 to 3/4. You would think he's gone. There's no way he can lose. And somehow he got nipped.
Yeah, he got used not too badly making the fronts and, faced token pressure. And you can see he's desperate to find the finish line, Desperate Man. He gets beat by the longest shot in the race, who set a pocket trip. So, I mean, yeah, it was another good race, sure, but you can file it under maybe another, second best or no excuse effort in a stakes race. So we know how talented this guy is, but he's got to he's got to step it up a little bit more in order to get it done, when big money is on the line.
That start came after a 3-week break. He's got another basically 3-week break here. I mean, is it just that he's not getting enough opportunity to race?
I don't. I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't think so because most of these top horses don't race every single week, as we know, like overnight horses do. I mean, I don't know. You can't blame it on bad circumstances. We saw him in the battle at Northfield. He ran a solid race, but Ken Hanover just exploded past him. So another second best effort. So I mean, I just think this is a guy that's just, you got to end up using underneath until he can prove he can currently beat the top tier horses.
The next replay we're going to look at involves two horses. That's Sabonis, who's 9-1 on the morning line, which I can't imagine we're going to get. And the 11, Hunting the Last Hour, who's 5-1 on the morning line. Those two are both coming out of the second division of the Sam McKee. We're going to take a look at it. They're going to finish second and third here. Sabonis is the horse first over and challenging for the lead, and it seems like every week he ends up first over, Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely overdue for a better trip because yeah, he's been roughing it first over his last two starts or used hard an extended move to get the lead, and it worked. It worked out once for him, four starts back in the graduate, but he's been a victim of that trip the last few starts. Now from the second tier start, he's got to be moving early. Is this a spot where he tries to brush to the front, or uh, he might end up first over again? I mean, it depends how early he's got to be out and moving. But he certainly, definitely is a contender here, just based on how rugged his trips have been.
We're going to wrap up our replay coverage with looking at two horses in here, Captain Luke and By the Missile. They're both coming out of the first division of the Houghton at the Meadowlands. Captain Luke is going to end up sitting a perfect pocket trip and getting the job done, while By the Missile was second over and just came up flat again. I mean, he just hasn't been the same horse this year.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed By the Missile over and over and over again. If you like him this week, we can get a nice price. But you see Captain Luke, who I think might have been my only winner on Hamiltonian Day, paying a very solid 5-1, rip it out of a pocket and basically, rolling right by. And like you said, By the Missile, I'm not expecting him to explode past the front runners, but he's got to finish third there at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's hard to make a bet on By the Missile.
Well, I was going to say, you know what? He's reunited with Chris Page, who won with him in his last start. It was an overnight event, but still, last time Chris Page drove, he won. And the difference is you're going to probably see double-digit price tonight on Friday night, I mean. And that makes him a little more enticing. Could he be 20-1 in this race? It's quite possible. And we've seen classy Ron Burke horses step up at big prices when you least expect it. This trotter, Eminem's Dream, I believe, with a big upset when you figure you count them out on Hamiltonian Day. And who knows? maybe he gets set up with a third over trip or something like that, and they go wicked fractions, and all of a sudden he decides, let me kick in, or maybe Chris Page, Golden Hands. I don't know. I'm going to have him somewhere in my ticket, not in the top spot, but after kind of tossing him these last few weeks, I'm mildly intrigued now.
Well, he did win the 2023 Breeders' Crown here, so that's something to consider. And right. The only other horse on here that's less than 10-1 on the morning line that we didn't discuss is Coach Stefanos, who last week came back to Hoosier, a track that he's familiar with, and showed early speed, and then just was flat late. That's really not his game, though. He's more of a closer, Matt.
So you think because he went off a 3-5 favorite actually against a 4-5 Little Rocket Man, did the field or the circumstances lead him to just be sent to the front to sit a trip, even though you said he's a better closer? I say probably yeah. So maybe I don't necessarily hold that against him, because it was probably the right thing to do in that race. Otherwise, Little Rocket Man would get away way too easy, and he'd have to be coming from too far and grinding into slow fractions. So, like you said, it's probably not his best trip, but I don't see him necessarily going anywhere near the front in this race. He's better suited, as we've seen from his closing efforts in the prior couple of starts in the Houghton and the Brower. I mean, I expect him to be an off-the-pace player here.
Just to mention them, I want to make sure I give everyone the coverage they deserve. We have 7 colors. I Did It My Way, Rock and Roll Runa, and of course Charlie May. Can any of these horses get onto the number here?
Rock and Roll Runa is we yet to see another huge upset like we saw last year with him. Solid overnight horse. I don't know if he's stakes material anymore. 7 colors have put in a couple of decent efforts. Another Andrew Harris trainee, and he wouldn't be a shock if he saved ground and hit the board. I Did It My Way. Keeps chugging along. He seems like he's been around a long time and still a fringe stakes player. And Charlie May, I think it would be a tough spot for him from a better post, and now he's got post 9. So it's nice to see him still racing at a high level, but that's going to be kind of tough to get to the number from there.
Well, you can see our picks are up on the screen there. I went with number 10, Sabonis. I just figured the trip can't work out bad every single time. I'm not quite sure why he's 9-1 on the morning line. I think we'll probably get 4-1 or so. I think that's a reasonable price. And I'm not convinced that Sabonis isn't the best horse in the race. I mean, obviously, some people could say Little Rocket Man. He's obviously in super form, but I think Sabonis is in good form as well. Things haven't worked out. I picked Coach Stefano second, because sometimes these races get super heavy pace, and this is a track that works well for closers when there is a heavy pace because there's a long stretch. And I believe we'll see a reversal of tactics here to off the pace. And Little Rocket Man's hard to leave off your ticket. He's just so sharp, Matt.
Yeah, I ended up going with Little Rocket Man on top of Sabonis, and it basically comes down to potentially another tough trip from the second tier. Dexter Dunn is going to have to maybe avoid a second over trip. I mean, an uncovered trip, trying to get a covered trip, or trying to make an early move to the front and try to catch a Little Rocket Man. Catch him by surprise early on. I don't know, but I just went from a tactical standpoint. I think Little Rocket Man, who you have to assume at some point is going to be taking control of this race. You just go by his last few starts. I know it's against much softer competition, but they're just dominating. And I can see him maybe, sporting away from this field again. And that's why I'm going to go with him on top.
Well, that's a look at Friday's Dan Patch, $300,000 on the line at Harris Hoosier Park. Of course, as we mentioned, this is the second leg of the $30,000 guaranteed late pick four that starts in race number 12. 15 races on the card, 5:30 post time. Good luck.